Hello, and welcome to the channel. With the Lunar New Year on the horizon and Genshin's yearly Lantern Rites event in full swing, I wanted to work on something that would fit with the season, so to speak. Yes, I know, I could have worked on a Valentine's Day video. I just didn't think about it. Every year, during this period, Genshin releases skins for their Yuegui characters, and it so happens that 3 of these characters also happen to have pets. You guys know where this is going! This is a little special for the Genshin Gijinkas series. For those of you who are new to the channel, we have a series here where I turn Genshin Pets into human designs. It's currently on hiatus while we wait for Genshin to release more critters, but you guys can still check it out if you'd like. It's not required viewing or anything, but if you'd like to know the thought process behind the designs showcased in the video, I've left a link to the playlist in the description. For this special little episode, Guoba, Butao, and Yuegui are getting skins based on the skins of their related character. Starting with... For last year's Lantern Rites in 5.3, Xiangling was given an adorable Guoba-themed outfit. Despite sporting a little Guoba bag, he himself still looks like his regular self, which I remember being a little sad about back then. With my human Guoba being an older gentleman, I wanted to give him an outfit that would match with Xiangling's and look just as cute, but also still feel in line with his original design. This ended up being a little more challenging than I expected. I wasn't sure how many bear motifs I wanted on him since Xiangling was already sporting quite a few. I initially gave him a scarf that imitated the bear paw shaped tails of Xiangling's jacket, and I wanted him to wear a cardigan with more regular winter outfit underneath. After a bit of thinking though, I decided that something more traditionally Liyuan would fit him better, with the cardigan being the more quote-unquote modern part of the outfit. To keep with the winter theme of the skin, I gave him a fluffy collar and some gloves with bear paw prints. With his neck safe from the cold, I turned his initial scarf into a belt. I thought about giving him a hat with bear ears like Xiangling's as well, but decided against it. With most of my ideas decided on, I sketched out the outfit and tried to add colors, which is always the hardest part for me. To contrast with Xiangling, I knew I wanted his cardigan to be yellow, and I also wanted his glasses to be tinted red, but was a lot less certain about the rest, so I tried a lot of colors. I wasn't really happy with the final result, so I did a second pass, this time putting more pins on the cardigan, the idea being that Xiangling added them for him. And after a lot of trial and error, I was finally happy with the design, and I could move to the illustration. I wanted to give all these designs a little splash art that was reminiscent of their counterparts' original outfit splash art. Starting with Guoba was actually a pretty good idea because the background wasn't too complicated, so I wouldn't be pulling my hair out from the get-go. I wanted to draw him running towards the viewer while snacking on fried radish balls and holding 3 out to share, with Xiangling waving at the viewer from one min, basically a direct mirror of Xiangling's outfit splash art. I had a lot of fun drawing Guoba because he's got a lot of round shapes going on in his design. I added a few small details that weren't really visible in the outfit sketch, like turning his buttons into little coins and adding pins to his fluffy collar. I also ended up not keeping the fluff around his boots and changed their design just the slightest bit. The background, as expected, went really smoothly, especially with Xiangling's outfit splash art as reference. With that done, I moved to the colors. Once the base colors were done, I decided to start adding lighting to the background and Xiangling first, the idea being that it would help with shading Guoba. Honestly, it didn't really affect anything. With the shading done, I colored the line art and added a few effects, and it was all done. And here's the final piece. Old man Guoba looks extra jolly. For our next design, we're still referencing last year's Lantern Rites with Hu Tao's 513 skin. It's a very stylish outfit, mixing modern and traditional style, and honestly, it's definitely one of my favorite Genshin skins. My human design for Butao has a more traditional style, so I wanted to keep that in mind for her new outfit. I did a few doodles of different shaped dresses and hairstyles, trying to find something that would contrast nicely with Hutao's outfit. I ended up choosing something that looked a little bulky on her and tied her hair into 2 little buns. With the design decided on, I moved to the final sketch and colors. Just like with Guoba, I wasn't super sure about the colors, so I tried a few more iterations. In the end, the first one felt like it looked the nicest. With my mind made, I moved to the illustration. This one was going to be a doozy. Hu Tao's outfit splash art has a lot more going on in the background department, so I was a little bit kinda super nervous about it. I decided to draw the scene on top of a bridge, like in this illustration featuring Hu Tao and Xiangling's new outfits, just to make things a little easier on myself, and I made the executive decision to keep most of the background very vague. For Butao's pose, I drew her floating and giving a little peace sign under her huge sleeve, a direct reference to her doing the same in Hu Tao's outfit splash art. She'd be up in the air, with Hu Tao looking up at her. It was fairly different from the original splash art, but I thought the idea would work nicely to showcase her outfit. I stole on the background by focusing entirely on the characters and only really drawing the bridge. Backgrounds are really scary, guys. Since the original doodle wasn't super detailed, I took the time to come up with some flower patterns for Butao's dress, making sure the ones on the top were different from the ones on the skirt before moving to Hu Tao. I did end up forgetting to add the little flowers to Hu Tao's skirt, so please pretend I didn't. Once the girls were done, it was background time. Actually, went way better than expected. Probably because I did not bother to make it detailed, so it was mostly just playing around with shapes and colors and adding effects. Once the background was done, I shaded everything, colored the line art, and voila! Here's the final piece. I feel like I managed to make these two fit with each other quite well, despite how different their styles are. Our last design is based on Yao Yao's brand new skin that was released this year. It's super adorable, but I will be honest and admit, I prefer her old bangs to the new ones. I think it's the way they sit around her face. This isn't a skin review video though, so I'll just move to Yuegui. I knew immediately that I wanted to base her skin on the little Yuegui Yao Yao has in her bag, with its little hat. It just looks too adorable. I already had an idea of what I wanted the shape of her outfit to look like, with it still being fairly close to her original one. I thought about giving her the same little bells as Yao Yao's original hairstyle at some point, and while that would be very adorable, it didn't make sense with Yuegui's hairstyle. I hesitated between 2 designs, so I decided to color them both and try to figure out which one I liked the most. She briefly got a little bag inspired by her flower pattern, but I didn't feel like it worked. I ended up choosing the second design I'd colored, which was one of the first designs I'd drawn, simply because this shape just worked for me. After a silly little doodle, I detailed her hairstyle just the slightest bit, giving her flower ornaments reminiscent of Yao Yao's original hair. For the illustration, I actually worked on the sketch on paper to make things a little quicker for myself. Yao Yao's outfit splash art, she's sitting in a bamboo forest, and I thought it'd be cute if Yuegui's outfit splash art took place in the same forest. This would mean I'd have to work on another background, but at this point I was pretty sure I could just wing it again. I drew Yuegui posing with Yao Yao's new parasol, while she cheered her on in the background. The line art took a while, mostly because of the parasol. I totally did not draw it accurately, by the way. Why? Because I used Yao Yao's outfit splash art as reference instead of actually looking up what an actual parasol looked like. Bad idea. Please always use references, guys. After finally finishing the line art, I happily moved to the colors for both Yuegui and Yao Yao. It was fairly straightforward. After that, background time. I kept things fairly simple again, keeping everything kinda loose and sketchy. I feel like I could have used more textured brushes to make things a little nicer, but this was a fun way to get into the fray. I definitely need to do more pieces that aren't just characters floating in front of a simple colored background. And here's the final piece. I really love how this one came out. I feel like Yuegui looks even cuter in this outfit than in her original one. And there we go! This was a nice little video to get back into the groove. It was nice to do something linked to the Genshin Pets series again. F's in the chat for Human Oz who did not get a new outfit despite Fischl having his kid. Maybe some other time. But what do you guys think of the outfits? Do they work as Lantern Rite skins? And which one is your favorite? I want to hear your thoughts on these. I also wouldn't say no to a cheeky little like and even cheekier follow if you really liked what I'm cooking. It's all Genshin related for now. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye!